Good, how are you?
Good, good. I know that you have been teaching the Google Earth lab this afternoon. How you feel about it?
So we did a Google Earth workshop to
Mhm.
introduce people to the basics of how to use Google Earth and to how to think about how you might use Google Earth to talk about the 5 themes of geography, which are a lot of themes that people use when looking at geography. But mostly we did a lot of the basics as to what Google Earth looks like, what you can do with the layers feature of Google Earth, which is really useful for, there's a global awareness layer, and so a lot of the themes that people have been talking about for global understanding, they can explore that through the UN Millennium Development Program. That's one of the layers for the Google Earth, so a lot of the teachers spent some time looking through those layers there.
Good, good. When you prepare for this workshop, did you find anything that you feel challenging and you find it difficult and then sort of way out through?
Well, there's a lot of different things that you can do with Google Earth, so probably the most challenging thing was to figure out what would suit the teachers' needs the most, to find out where everybody was in terms of their own knowledge for Google Earth. And most of the participants in my workshop today, they hadn't used Google Earth before at all in their classrooms, so we scaled it down to a very introductory level workshop about Google Earth. If we had had more time, we would have gone into a little bit more detail and depth about creating tours and doing some of that. But you can do a lot and get at a lot of really good concepts with Google Earth for your students at just a very introductory, basic level. If you haven't used the program very much, you can still do a lot with your students.
I see. There's another workshop you have been working on too, right?
Earlier today, I also did a workshop on economics, particularly focused on elementary students and using ice cream and using Ben and Jerry's ice cream as a way to explore issues of globalization that relate to economics. So thinking about what ingredients are part of ice cream and what resources are needed to make ice cream, and then we're exploring where those ingredients come from, and Ben and Jerry's sources their products from their ingredients from all over the world, and local ingredients as well. So we explored some of the concepts and issues about local versus global, and then other issues in terms of what part of their mission is fair trade. So we talked a little bit about how you might introduce those concepts into your classroom, and that's based on some of the things that the teachers had been talking about in this workshop in the institute already. And we also looked at how there was a Google Earth component there too, so I made a tour of all of the places that the ingredients from Ben and Jerry's ice cream comes from and where it goes across the world. And so we looked at some of that, and we thought about economic issues in terms of the market and who decides what types of flavors and ice cream are sold, and what other factors are involved in creating business practices.
Good. Thank you. Thank you,
You're
Arlene.
welcome.